Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a little bit different than our usual Pokemon challenges. As you can see by the title down below, I am going to use a random number generator to decide who I do a solo run of the game Pokemon Leaf Green. As you can see, Leaf Green is Generation 3, and in Generation 3 there are 386 Pokemon in the dex. So just put 386 and generate a result. 203, so that's going to be Generation 2. Who have we got here? Giovanni. Could be interesting. Pretty solid Pokemon, to be fair. Let's just have a look. I mean, this is what you should do anyway. Look at the moves. Weaknesses, obviously Bug and Dark. Resists Ghost and Psychic, so that's good. Where are the moves at? Have I lost them? Where are they usually here? Am I being dumb? Oh, it's because he's unavailable in Generation 8, okay. Yeah, from here, okay, so... Psybeam, this is best won by Natch by leveling up. He gets Crunch as well, which is solid. Get some good TMs, you can learn Psychic, get some electric moves. There's a solid amount of coverage here, right. Looks like we're doing a solo run of Leaf Green with one Giovanni. Back in a second. Alright guys, and we're back. Before we get into this, 77.2% of those who watched the last challenge video weren't subscribed, so if you're new around here, make sure you sub, as I'm trying to hit 50 subs before the end of the year. Using the randomizer tool, I swapped Bulbasaur for Giovanni and named him Horse because I'm hilarious. I'm writing this script as I go along with the challenge and don't know the outcome at this point, but based on what I said when I generated the number, Giovanni is a solid Pokemon with good stats, and I'm confident I can complete this. Straight after that, we had our first battle against our rival. At this point, Giovanni is a much more powerful Pokemon than Charmander, so he was taken down easily. Rock time now, and before I went in, I trained up to level 13 so that Giovanni could learn Confusion, his first stab move, and also a special so that he could take on low special defense rock type Pokemon that Brock has, which he did with ease, and I was ready to move on swiftly. Second rival battle now, and with Giovanni going down to Poison in Mount Moon, I faced double the wild Pokemon that I intended, and I ended up going to level 22, meaning that I was able to overpower all of Gary's Pokemon without any issues facing me. Misty was up next, and someone gave me a feeling this would be a lot different to the last time I faced this gym with Rhyhorn. That feeling was in fact correct, as this was an easy sweep of Misty landing limited damage on Giovanni. SS and rival time, and even though this team had improved level wise, finally evolving his Charmander, this was still another clean sweep and came with no issues. Vermilion City Gym was up next, and after rummaging through bins for about half a year, I made it to Lieutenant Surge. Fortunately, the battle wasn't as long as the search was, and I swept through his electric Pokemon and I had earned the third gym badge. Following that, I headed to Celadon City to take on the other gym leader that gave me hell when I did the Rhyhorn run. Even though I didn't take like 20,000 attempts like in that run to beat this gym, it did come to the wire and I was only one turn away from being taken out and forced through some more grinding. Sticking in Celadon City, I went by the Team Rocket hideout in the game corner after making my way through the mazes, and I made it to Giovanni for the first encounter we had. The battle came down to the wire, but the level difference was too much for him and I collected the Silph Scope. Another rival battle followed, and even though once again his team had improved, there were no comparisons to Giovanni. Fuchsia City Gym was up next, and with this being the first gym and only gym with a type advantage for Giovanni, I went in with no doubt that this would be a first time win, and I wasn't wrong with it being an easy sweep with Psybeam. Once again, another rival battle, and it had the same outcome as the previous one we've had. I'm just hoping that this is how it turns out in the champion battle. Straight after that, I headed to take on Giovanni once more, and due to his team having mostly poison types or just Pokemon with low special defences, besides Kangaskhan, this was an easy sweep once again. 6th gym time now, and even though I was the same type as the gym leader's Pokemon, Giovanni had learned Crunch, which is a super effective as a star type, meaning that this would be another easy sweep. After travelling around the Savara zone in search for HM03 Surf and roaming around the Cinnabar Mansion for a secret key, I made it to Blaine. This battle, however, wasn't following the same pattern as many of the other previous battles. Arcanine's high special attack was too much for Giovanni to handle. I had to do some more grinding. After grinding to level 60, I went back into the gym, and this time I was able to confuse the Arcanine and make so he couldn't land a second Fire Blast that would have taken me out. After dealing with that, Ponytail was easy and Rapidash got close, leaving me in the red, but one more Psybeam dealt with her. Next up I faced Giovanni again, but this time he was the gym leader. The previous meetings I had were easy ones, but this might have been too easy with all his Pokemon falling to just one Psybeam, with him being unable to land any moves. Guess we're ready for the Elite Four now. But before I could take on the Elite Four, I was met by my rival one last time before I went through to Victory Road. His team had given me hell in the last Leaf Green run with Rhyhorn and therefore I was anticipating issues. His first few Pokemon went down without much issue, but his Gyarados left me in the red health, perfectly setting up his Charizard for the last hit. I'm going to have to return to grinding for a while. I thought it'd be best to go get pre-Elite Four grinding in now and went back to Gary at level 70. His first three went down easily once more. Then Gyarados just didn't feel like attacking for some reason and went down to two Psybeams, which left Charizard and Alakazam. Charizard also didn't want to hit attack straight away, so he only landed limited damage, and Alakazam was a one-shot of Crunch. Victory Road time. Well, not straight away. I waited the TM for Psychic, so I headed to Saffron City for that, but yeah, it's now time for Victory Road. Elite Four time now, and first up was the Ice type, Lorelei. Lorelei's first few Pokemon went down without much of a fight, but when it came to a Lapras, it managed to tank our attacks and survived on 1 HP. Back to grinding I go. I went in back at level 80 and once again I was whipped through our first three Pokemon and made it to the Lapras. This time, due to my increased levels, my moves packed much more of a punch and I was able to take down without receiving very large hits in return, leaving just a Lynx who went down to a few crunches. Bruno followed, and due to him being a fighting type member, this was the one battle I was least worried about, with all of his Pokemon going down to Psychic and not returning one hit at all. Agatha was up next, and due to running out of PP on Psychic, I was going to rely on Crunch for this battle, but fortunately I found a pair of black glasses in my bag which boost the power of Dark type attacks, meaning that other than the few hits from a couple of her Pokemon, this was a sweep. Final Elite Four member Lance followed, and before I went in, I gave the TM for Shockwave to Jeffrig in replace of Psychic due to running out of PP. This worked wonders for his first few Pokemon as they went down without much of a fight, but when the first Dragonite came out, he managed to tank the hits and landed Outrage which took down Jeffrig. Back to grinding I went. Fortunately, before I swapped TMs, I saved the game so I could do the other battles without Psychic at my helm. I went through the Elite Four for a good few amount of times to get to the level, and by the time I got to Lance on the actual run, Jeffrig was level 89. Without thinking, I went into the battle without switching to Shockwave, but thankfully, I was able to land much larger hits this time around and his Pokemon didn't attack as frequent, meaning this battle ended up being much easier than intended. Champion time, and I did end up switching out Crunch and Psychic before heading into this one, replacing them with Toxic and Shockwave. Pidgeot and Gyarados went down to Shockwave with ease, then out came the Charizard who opted to use Slash, leading to consecutive Shockwaves being able to take it down too. Alakazam went down to a few Earthquakes, along with Rhydon, leaving just Executor. My one super effective move for him had been replaced, but fortunately enough, the Stomp that landed was a critical hit and one hit KO him. The challenge was over. To review this challenge, I would say it's definitely beyond the same level as the Absol challenge where there has been a few issues, but overall it wasn't too much of a challenge. If I decide to do this random number generator challenge again, it will be whether you guys in the comments think it's a good idea, but in the future I might set a premise where the Pokemon have a max base stat of 400 or something along those lines just to make it a bit more challenging, as this was a bit too easy for a solo run challenge compared to something like the previous Sudowoodo one and especially the Rhyhorn one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. If you have any suggestions for future challenges, let me know on my Twitter, which is linked down below, or in the comments. Either way is easy for me. Anyway, thanks for watching and cheers.